So now, what does it take to make 1,000 horsepower in a G8?
Just bring it to BHP.
I guess I said, all right, that's a short video.
And some money. It takes a lot of good people helping you out, you know. TKM Performance, people like that. Jason Wicker at Wicked Transmissions, Cameron, Byron at Cameron's Converters. Everybody makes good products. You just got to put it all together and, you know, in the right combination. Pro charger, fast.
Yep.
Takes the speed.
This is the one we did a dyno video of a few weeks ago. We posted that one up, and you know, a lot of people, we actually have, seems like 1,000 is the magic number that a lot of people want now, but 1,000 rear wheel horsepower on any vehicle, G8's included, is a lot of money, a lot of time, and it's a maintenance that you won't have on a 600-700 horsepower, you know, car.
It's really pretty scary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's very scary. We did a little first. Actually, Dusty did a first and second gear hit, but first was pretty much just straight delimiter. And then the second gear tried to hook, but it didn't have much of a chance. But there's a few ways, you know, of course, you can get 1,000 horsepower. Like I said, it just seems to be a key word for a lot of people because it is so easy to make horsepower now. And on the internet, you'll hear 1,000, 1,500, you hear all these huge numbers. But in reality, 1,000 horsepower is a lot on the street. And foot-pounds of torque as well. So it is very torquey. You can roll into it in second gear at 50 miles an hour and it blows the Hoosiers off. It's a very good setup. And this one's a 427 blower, 400 transmission, custom fuel system and all, like I think we've talked about in previous videos. But this is one way to make 1,000, and it's just a lot more than most people need on the street or really need to have, because until you have driven or ridden in a car that has this much horsepower, you don't realize how fast it really is.
Oh, she's nasty.
Legit 70%. That wasn't wide open throttle at all. And it just seemed.
She is nasty. It's a good car, man. It's gonna be good. I think you'll be happy with it.
It's not going to launch it, but it does have a trans brake. It has 2 buttons.
Line it up down there. You got one on the steering wheel and one on the shifter. Same thing, same purpose. It's just, if you're manually shifting it, you probably want to keep your hand on the shifter, and if you're letting the air shift it, you can use the steering wheel.
It runs so much better now.
First gear, yep. Yes, sir.
Barely tapped the limiter in first gear, but you know, let off. But dude, it is so fast that you can't tell. Like, it spins up so quickly, you literally can't control it.
Yeah, it totally outruns your ability to shift. At least on the
Definitely want to
street.
do another video when we get to the track.
Yeah.
There's nowhere that you can really enjoy this car for what it's built for on these back roads. But when we get it to the track, I think we're going to be able to turn some good times and it'll hook up.
Those highway rolls in Mexico, it might hook up a little bit there. That's the thing. Another thing with 1,000 horsepower or, you know, super high horsepower is you still got to hook it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty on the edge, out of control. At a low roll like this, 30, 40 miles an hour, you get into it, it's gonna break loose. I mean, you know, it's especially cold roads in wintertime.
But yeah, I mean, it's a lot. How much money's in the fuel system in something like this? I mean,
It's 3,000 or a little more. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of money.
Cell, you got a 5 GP.
The exciting times of emptying the oil. We're in a 1,000 horsepower car, but a lot of the other things we're talking about is if you have a 1,000 horsepower engine, you still have to have all the other supporting things to help with that. 400 transmission in these. The 680s will support 1,000, but shifting sometimes gets really squirrely, hard to be consistent. So that, you got the fuel systems, you got rear-end modifications. We're gonna try this stock rear-end for a while and see how it works. We've got good hope for it. But you know, we talked about that. I'm gonna look at that video and hopefully we'll be able to use some of that as well. But the thing is, I guess the whole point of the video is 1,000 horsepower is great, but it doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come easy, and you have to have everything else supporting it to make sure that the 1,000 horsepower can make it to the ground reliable. And that includes the transmission, the fuel system, and having a good engine. But anyways,
It'll find the weak spot.
it will. We haven't found this one yet, but all we did was a couple burnouts. So
It'll have one.
it'll have one, and something will happen, and we'll fix it, and we'll be back.
Break, fix, repeat.
And that's part of the life when you have a high horsepower car like this, especially one that he's planning to drive and use and bring it to cruise ins and race and all that good stuff.
Maybe the extravaganza.
Yep, we hope to have this one at the G8 extravaganza this year, which we're thinking about now going to. We talked about that. And what, April? Why you make those faces? You know I'll put that in there.
Okay, well, turn the lights off inside the car.
Oh, we did leave a light on.